Welcome everybody. My name is Matty Bakkeren from CircleB. So today we prepared a small story for you to talk about real-life deployments of OCP. And I'd like to take you through that story. It's very practical. I've seen a lot of really cool presentations today on technology, on product. And we at CircleB thought maybe it's nice to actually show how some of these racks are applied and deployed and how we do that. There's a few learnings I will share along the way. I've included a few links in the slides as well. So when the slides are distributed, you can click them and you can get the materials that I will be referencing to. So as mentioned, my name is Matty Bakkeren. I work with CircleB. CircleB is a European OCP solution provider. We've been around for quite some time. We were founded in 2012, and ever since we've had a team of very passionate and dedicated engineers work on OCP deployments. And as such, we've had a pretty good run at customer deployments, and we've built up a lot of experience. And some of that I will share with you today. So basically, I'd like to talk about two stories today. They both involve moving actual physical OCP racks to different locations. While that may sound easy, there's some challenges that go with that. So one is a migration between data centers within the Netherlands. The Netherlands is not a big country, as you probably all know, but you still need to move the racks. You still need to account for downtime with your customer. There's a few things that come into play there. And one is actually an international deployment, where we took the racks, we build them, and then we ship them international. And this is actually one of the big benefits, right, of OCP. We at CircleB, we integrate, we build to order, we build these racks in our facilities. Then we test them, and the testing is something which I think is something that sets us apart a little bit. We use a tool called Trinity X. You see a screenshot of it right there. This is basically where we do burn-in testing. So we have a software load, we talk to the customers, we can do that for a couple hours, we can do that for days or even weeks on end to make sure that the infrastructure is up and running and is performing as expected before we ship. And when we do ship, shipping becomes really interesting, and we found that the best way to ship the racks is actually using custom wooden crates. So you see a picture on the right-hand bottom side here below. This is actually one of the earlier test models that we've built. The newer models are a little bit different, but basically they sit on a pallet. There's a small ramp to push the racks in. You don't want that ramp to be too steep, because typically an OCP rack will weigh anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 kilos. It's a big rack, right? This is why we do certification of data centers, so they don't tip over. And then we've built in shock absorbers. And then when we ship equipment, we work with trusted vendors and trusted suppliers and logistical partners. But I think it was Reagan who said trust, but always verify, right? So we have a little sticker on the side of these crates to tell us if these racks weren't handled in a way where they tipped too much, or if there was too much of an inclination when the racks were craned or moved around on a forklift. So these are kind of the two tools I thought that would be interesting for you to see. So let's talk a little bit about the first project. So we had 4 racks move from one data center to another. We did, of course, enough planning with our customers when we would be able to move those racks. Downtime, we had a slot of about 8 hours. But before we did that, we basically surveyed the environment. So in this case, the racks were transformed from an OCP-ready data center to another data center which wasn't completely OCP-ready. So we had to do a site survey, right? Which basically means we go in, we check, can the racks actually physically be moved from the loading dock through the hallways into the data center rooms? And you run into things like door heights. Will it fit in the elevator? Is there a slant somewhere? And in this case, we actually found out that in the hallway, it wouldn't support the weight of the racks. So we had to put in plates to distribute the weights. And then another thing we did is to remove the J-bots, so storage. These were spindles, so these are big, heavy boxes. We decided to move those out of the racks, so the weight was a little bit less, and we could move those racks around. And also for the J-bots being spindles, we felt a little bit more comfortable shipping those in a separate method of transport. So we did that. The other thing we ran into is that on the customer side, there were a few things happening, so they didn't have a lot of engineers available, and we decided, you know what, we're going to do these racks not all at the same time, so let's just spread it across 2 days, spread the risk, something practical. So we put the crates to use. You can see our engineers to work there. These are the actual crates, and you can actually see at the bottom there that the pallets now, the crates can actually sit together. When they're shipped together, they don't get to wobble as much, whereas in the initial design, they could tilt a little bit. So that was another learning we had over time. They went on the truck, they moved to the other side. Within 5 hours, it was done. It was a seamless transition. So that was migration number 1. Things got a little bit more interesting when we were doing the same exercise, but now on an international level. And when I say I, by the way, I'm talking about our engineers, because I'm the sales guy. I only get to talk about it. There's a few people in the room that actually did it. I'll get them to stand up real quick, so if you have questions, they would be the people to ask. So again, we did the design, the build, the test with Trinity. We shipped and we deployed. So these racks, we had racks going not too far from our main office in Amsterdam to another facility in Amsterdam, but we also had racks going out to Singapore. Now, to ship those racks, we ran into a bit of a challenge. What is the best way to ship, and what is the best way to support this remotely, right? Because you can ship them by air, but there's a height restriction of 2 meters. So if you go over 2 meters, you basically need to ship them via air cargo, so a special plane, and you get into a whole different cost dynamic there. So in the end, this was a non-super urgent deployment for the customer, and we could handle it through shipping. Again, with the same crates, we put them in the shipping containers. And support, so CircleB offers remote support. We can do remote management, but there's always Murphy's Law, right? Something always goes wrong, something breaks. So we actually have a local partner in Singapore that could help being the local hands-on expert. And we had, of course, our engineers on standby remotely to get it deployed. So the hardware was received, was connected with remote hands. We enabled it. You can see the racks up there. And again, this is the benefit of OCP, right? You build the racks, you test them, you deploy them, you basically plug in power and network, and you're ready to go. So, you see the team photo here. I'm the guy on the right, and then there's 3 gentlemen who are actually involved in the actual deployment, and Iris, our marketing genius, in the middle. We're all here at booth 822. You can find us there. You can look us up on the website. Trinity is freeware, it's open source. You can download it, so there's a link there. If you Google this, you will find it. The company that makes it is called Cluster Vision. It's one of our sister companies. We're all part of Taurus Group, and that's basically how we adopted the tool. But it's free for you to use, and if there's questions, please let us know. We'll happily help you. We also have a number of solutions in the marketplace and products, including Trinity, so you'll find us there. In these scenarios, we work with different co-location partners, but we work with a whole lot more. I see a few of them sitting here in the room, Stellium, Global Switch. There's partners that we work with, so we can definitely help you out there as well. And for any additional information, you can scan the QR code or come find us. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to share with all of you, and I hope this will benefit you in your deployments. Thank you for being here, wishing you a great conference, and if there's questions, let me know. Easy, thank you.